sunlit world of what he believes to be reality. But there is, unseen by most, an underworld, a place that is just as real, but not as brightly lit. A dark side.
You guys know the reason that aliens do anal probes? Because the aliens don't exist, and they're actually the elites molesting and murdering your children. And they play it off by guys getting abducted. You ever notice you've never seen a large amount of stories of women getting abducted? It's only men. And they're always talking about anal probes and people playing with their butt and a lot of weird stuff, right? Why am I bringing this up? Because I'm sick of your shit. And I'm not talking to anybody, directly. I'm saying, while everybody's worried about polite, remember, they keep you looking one way while they're doing shit the other way. While everybody's worried about polite bitch ass, who is guilty, and, he just got money so he can, stream off the courts. It don't matter. Eventually, they're going to get your ass on something, and it's going to be involved in that whole situation. So, you're going to get yours regardless. But while everybody's looking at that, nobody's listening to this cocaine story in the White House. And here's the funny thing. It sounds funny. It sounds funny until you see how other people react to it. And the information that I have. So, let's listen to something.
Watch the way CNN covered this, the way they're joking about this. And again, just contrast that to imagine if Donald Trump Jr. was a crackhead and they found crack or coke or whatever at the White House when Trump was president. Take a look at this.
They're learning that it is indeed cocaine. Now, again, this is part of an ongoing investigation. We're trying to get more from the Secret Service as to, again, how this got into the White House and who brought it in. All of those questions still lingering, but at the very least, those lab tests are now in.
The field test said cocaine.
Yeah.
Now these more conclusive lab tests. Yeah.
I would like to know blow by blow who was responsible for this.
Too soon.
There's no too soon on
No,
this.
too soon?
No one was injured, as far as we know. And it's an illicit drug at the White House. Why can't you actually have a bit of fun with it?
I don't believe in fun.
No.
Illicit drug at the White House. Illicit drug at the White House. So yeah, illicit drug at the White House. Nobody got injured. It's just some coke. Now these are Democrats talking. These are Democrats talking. Why would they be so chill with it? Why is it? It's nothing. It's just some coke, and it's at the White House. But that really don't matter. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter. It's just some coke. Why would they say it like that? Let me show y'all something. I want to show you guys something that I know is not familiar to you, but we're gonna watch something. Yep, we're gonna watch something. We're gonna hear from somebody, and we're gonna understand why the Democrats, with a Democrat in office, wouldn't be tripping off some coke. Why do they not care that it's nothing, it's just illicit drug? His son's a crackhead, but they're finding drugs in the White House, but there's all this money that's being laundered. But no, that's what's going on. Check this out. Let's go in the files.
But met him in 80, and I met him in 82 or 83 at the parties. See him in 80.
D. Larry came from Omaha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Involved Franklin Credit Union. Met him in 80, and I met him in 82 or 83 at the parties. See him in 80 at rituals. I see him in 79 at a couple of rituals, but I never really knew who he was until 80, and then I was introduced to him. And in 82, 83, some stuff happened. I met him at the parties I met him through Bear. And then he started inviting me to his parties and stuff, which I never really had to do anything with him as long as I kept his big shots that he brought in happy. He didn't expect nothing from me. He paid me good. And
Who were the big shots he brought in?
a lot of them, I don't know. A lot of them were like senators and congressmen from other states. A lot
State
of them,
senators
he'd
or
send
U.S.
me
senators?
to them.
State senators or U.S. senators?
State senators, U.S. senators, congressmen, governors. I mean,
This is Paul Bonacci, or Paul Bonacci. This is him explaining how he was passed around from politicians, senators, governors, mayors as a sex toy. And he's talking about, the underground parties where they had drugs and liquor and all this different stuff. Some of them even were hosted at the White House. Now, why am I bringing this up? Because this is Democrat time. See, when people talk about Johnny Goshik in the 70s, it is true that at that time, what's his name? Reagan is in office. This is true. But I don't know. Well, better yet, I do know. Let me say it like this. Reagan was an actor. He was in Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? And then all bullshit aside, even a broken clock can be right 2 times a day. So I'm not saying that he wasn't involved, because I'm not even going to hold back and say none of them weren't involved. The only person I'm claiming is Trump. And the only reason I'm saying that is because he wasn't a politician. He could have still been involved in some other shit too. But he wasn't a politician. And a lot of information came out. So let's just say they were all involved. So his stint with this whole situation is, I believe, because it's the late 70s, I believe it's Reagan and Bush Sr.
That's where I got involved with the Washington, D.C. and stuff, and went to Washington, D.C. a lot. And he was also, I believe, involved with Monarch, because I remember seeing him, or a fat man that looked like him, maybe younger, in the early 70s and stuff when I first got involved with Monarch. So I think it was him. I'm not 100% sure. It was off the Air Force Base, which is also where I met Wall.
Which Wall? David, first name. I want it from you.
What, Jerry?
What was his first name?
Jerry?
Yeah. Jerry Wall,
Jerry Wall, the FBI. He was an FBI agent in Omaha. Traveled a lot.
When did you meet Wall?
Actually, I trying to go through that. I'm not sure, but I remember seeing him in a lot of the things that we did all through the midway through the 70s up until probably after about 76 to about the time I got away from everything, 86. It's about a 10-year period that maybe, about that.
How many times did you see him?
I seen him a lot of times. Whenever I went to training and stuff, he was one of the guys that was there. I never really got to, not every time I went to training, but once every couple of months I'd see him.
Training for what?
Monarch.
Okay.
He was
I just want you to say this.
Yeah, okay.
There's no question about what you're talking about. You understand what
He was one of the guys that did the mind control stuff that would kind of be like a protector. He'd kind of talk to you when things are happening and stuff, and kind of try to make think that he was on your side and stuff, and you could trust him. You couldn't trust nobody else, but you could trust him.
You said that Larry King would send you out to politicians and congressmen, senators. So how did you know they were congressmen, senators?
Well, a lot of times when we were like in Washington D.C. and stuff, I figured it out after a while when they came in, and like some of them had bodyguards. You know, they'd come in and look around. You know, and they'd always be like, they'd always have forward guys that would go in before they would. If they made a shot, I guess the forward guy would get shot. And that was mainly with the congressmen and stuff. The governors, we went to different states and we met with, I think I was only with 2 governors.
What state did you go to and when?
There was one out in New York or Massachusetts. I've been trying to figure that one out because we were in where we were at. I was like real close to either side. So I don't know where it was at, but I do know that I met with Senator Barney Franks, who was from Boston, or something like that.
Is he U.S. Senator?
I believe so. Barney Franks.
Did he molest you?
He had sexual relations with me.
Okay.
That's,
Is it Franks? F-R-A-N-K-S? Okay, who are the governors? Can you remember? Did you recognize any of the politicians?
I don't recognize too many of them. I didn't ask who they were. The only ones I really knew was Studs, a guy named Gall. Were any state senators from Nebraska, as far as I remember?
Did you recognize, aside from the fact that you had sex with some of these politicians, at some of these parties, did you recognize any prominent senators or congressmen or anybody? Even though you may not have had sex with them.
A lot of the parties I went to with King had prominent people because in Washington, D.C., whenever we were down there, you guys had parties. At the beginning of the party, you had a lot of young guys and stuff that were servers. We'd sometimes serve stuff, sometimes we'd be up in the background, we'd be walking around the party and stuff. Nothing was to take place then. After the party was over, the ones that were involved with him, or the ones that he was trying to get political favors from, that won whatever they wanted, they would stay or they'd come in after the party was over or the next day. See, so at the party, nothing even abnormal. I mean, if somebody was in there and stuff, they'd see no abnormal activities going on, so they would, honestly be able to say that. I've been to parties, but I've never seen anything. So, but I've seen some parties down in Washington. I've seen President Bush there. Which I'd rather not talk about him.
What year was that? Was he president or vice president?
Vice president. That's when he was still vice president. I've never met him as president because he became president in '88, and I never went around him after that.
You saw him at how many of these parties?
I seen him at about 3 or 4 parties.
Wow.
And every one of the parties.
Wow. So these parties that they played off as, nothing's going on. And then later that night, people would come back, certain politicians and stuff. You know what I mean? He said he's seen George Bush Sr. when he was a VP at least 3 of these parties. Okay. Think about something. When it comes to what we're speaking about, because I just showed you, you know what I'm saying, what's a hot topic right now is cocaine found in the White House. His son's a dope fiend, whatever. We're saying this whole administration is janky. All right, so they find some sugar booger. All right, whatever. CNN analysts, they making a joke out of it. They like, oh, I want to know this story blow by blow. Oh, too soon. They're like, nah, it's just some drugs in the White House. It's not that serious. Okay, I'm showing you why they would be so passive with it, because the Democrats, this is something that they specialize in. But don't get it confused. When it comes to me bigging up the Republicans, I'm only talking about policy. I'm not talking about Mitch McConnell and Tom Cotton. It's like these motherfuckers is related to slave masters and shit. It's like it's already came out. Who's another one? Lindsey Graham. He's another one. These motherfuckers is literally related to Klan members. You know what I'm saying? Slave owners. So once I found that out, and here's the weird thing, it's like they didn't say John Kennedy from Louisiana. They didn't say he had any slaves. They didn't say Jim Jordan. They didn't say Matt Gaetz, right? Surprisingly, right? They didn't say him. They didn't say Ron Paul. They didn't say none of that. But they poked them motherfuckers out. They was like Tom Cotton, Lindsey Graham, and motherfucking Mitch McConnell. They all related to slave masters. So it's like, okay, when I talk about the Dixiecrats infiltrating the fucking system, now you get what I'm saying. Oh, yes. And then honestly, you know what? Fuck that. No, I ain't even making no excuse for this shit. Fuck that. Look, policies and being a fucking perv and having some secret fucking, other shit going on. Yo, that's different. That could be anybody. That could be fucking next time you watch a person walk a dog down the street, always remember this motherfucker might be fucking that dog. It might be on some bestiality shit. So it's like, that's what I'm saying. I'm not holding none of these people. You know what I'm saying? Nah, if you're wrong, you dead. But what I'm saying is this game gets deeper than what people think, because everybody right now is on polite, but y'all don't realize the shit polite's doing. There's plenty of people in this conscious arena that have done that. Okay, just like the church. How you gonna call these street cats, you know what I'm saying, and be like, oh, well, they're not, church go. That don't mean nothing. If the church is doing it and then you seeing it on the street, and then there's the hoodlum with the average rape and all this weird shit is going on, and then you're seeing it in the government, secret parties. Okay. So I'm trying to make a point that these people have, like, at least in that arena, these people have been taking these certain faulty deals. They've been doing stuff, bro. And it's been going on for a long time. So to me, the cocaine in the White House is just like an eye opener. It's just watch. I'm gonna finish this shit up, but it's like, yo, it's just an eye opener.
You had a little ID card that you had to have, and they had a little scanner thing. And when you went in, they ran it across this thing to get in there and stuff. They had they had special agents everywhere, Secret Service men everywhere and stuff. And I fell off the balcony of the place. They had a little window and stuff. I was sitting on there and I fell off. Didn't get hurt. I got up, but I dropped my car, and I had Secret Service men with about 500 guns pointing, about 20 guns pointing at my head when I tried to go back in. Until our team came over and straightened it out and said he belongs in here. And that was kind of a spooky thing when you have all those guns pointing in your face and you're only 15, 16 years old. But the reason was because they had to have all the Secret Service. But I also seen that some of them, I seen people like Maureen Reagan, which is, I believe, President Reagan's daughter.
What did Vice President Bush hang around after the party was over, or what?
He was after the party a couple of times, and we were hiding in the closet.
Weapons of mass destruction. That's his daddy. They talking about he stayed after the party a few times.
I didn't do nothing with him. He was with a black kid, and he was with a white kid.
I didn't mess with him. He was with a black kid or a white kid. Wow. What? Dog, didn't they invite George Bush Jr. to that civil rights dude, John whatever, funeral? And everybody was wondering why the fuck Bush was in there. Everybody like, why the fuck is Bush Jr. at this funeral for the civil rights dude? Bush Sr. was fucking black boys. Listen.
We were hiding in the closet, but I didn't do nothing with him. He was with a black kid, and he was with a white kid.
Yo, run that shit back. This shit is crazy.
Comes in here, and that was kind of a spooky thing when you have all those guns pointing in your face and you're only 15, 16 years old. But the reason was because the vice president was there, so they had to have all the Secret Service. But I also seen that some of them, I seen people like Maureen Reagan, which is, I believe, President Reagan's daughter.
What did Vice President Bush hang around after the party was over, or what?
He was after the party a couple of times, and we were hiding in the closet. But I didn't do nothing with it.
We were hiding in the closet. I never got to mess with him. He messed with a black boy and a white boy. Watch.
And he was with a white kid.
What do you mean with a white kid and a black kid?
Well, there was one.
Party was over, or what?
He was after the party a couple of times, and we were hiding in the closet. But I didn't do nothing with him. He was with a black kid, and he was with a white kid.
What do you mean with a white kid and a black kid?
Well, there was one.
Tell me about the time when you were in the closet.
Well, me and this other kid.
Who's the other kid?
I can't even remember right now. He was from the Washington, D.C. area. So he wasn't from around here. But we were just sitting in the closet talking, just kind of trying to mind our own business. We were staying away from the rest of the party. We were in a back room in the bedroom.
Was this after the formal party was over?
Well, it was kind of during the formal party, but it was after a lot of people had already started leaving and stuff. And remember that this couple of Secret Servicemen came in. One went to the window and looked around outside the window and stuff. The other one came in, looked in the closet, and thought he'd seen us.
Was it
He had a
dark?
flashlight. The lights were off. He didn't even bother turning the lights. Come in with the flashlight. Looked in the closet. You know, I guess he didn't really look around it because me and him were sitting on a foot right below him. It kind of looked like this. He didn't even look down. Kind of looked like that and stuff. Turned around, walked out of the room and stuff, and then we seen this other guy come in and stuff, and I didn't recognize him at first.
Was the closet door open or closed?
It was partially open.
Okay.
So we could see out there and stuff. And it's like the two people I knew as Webb.
Yo, this shit is so fucking sick. These kids don't even realize that he grown at this time. He don't even realize what the fuck the Secret Service was doing. The Secret Service knew your fucking ass was there. He's looking around, so if there was any hidden cameras, it would look like he had looked in there. This shit is fucking sick, bro.
Yeah, I knew his Webb and stuff. One of them was from Washington area. Here's a white kid, and the other one was a black kid. I seen it 2 different times.
2 different webs. One is a white, one is a black kid.
Yeah.
Okay.
One was from Omaha or somewhere out here.
Was a white kid or a black kid from Omaha?
The black kid.
Okay.
The one that's from this area. And I seen at the time Vice President Bush go in, and that all he did was the kids perform oral sex on him. That was it.
Kids what?
Perform oral sex on him. And
The kid performed oral. Which is the black kid or the white kid?
both of them. Well, first, I seen him at 2 different times. First with the white kid, then with
When
the
you
black
were in the closet.
Yeah, we were in the closet both times.
Oh, were you?
That was our normal hideout. Me, him, and other kids and stuff. That's where we hid out at. We go in the closet and stuff when we want to get away from the party.
So you were in that closet twice when Vice President Bush came in?
And I was in the closet more than twice, isn't it?
I mean, when Vice President Bush came in. 2 separate parties, one white kid, one with the black kid. Yeah, right. So you saw him twice.
Yeah.
And the kid had to perform oral sex on it. And what happened after they finished?
And he just got up and I left, and
Bro.
Damn!
Again. Let me show you what I'm trying to do here. Let's go back to something again.
And who brought it in? All of those questions still lingering, but at the very least, those lab tests are now in.
The field test said cocaine.
Yeah.
Now these more conclusive lab tests, yeah.
I would like to know blow by blow who was responsible for this.
Too soon.
There's too soon on this. No one was injured, as far as we know. And it's an illicit drug at the White House. Why can't you actually have a bit of fun with it?
I don't believe in fun.
No, he doesn't. Thank you so much.
That is a CNN daytime anchor basically telling people to do cocaine if you want to have a little bit of fun. I mean, the carrying.
Now, here's my thing. Here's the thing I'm worried about. I'm worried that they've already came out and basically admitted that we didn't even need the jab. The jab wasn't even needed. They had already had 2 different ways of clearing that up. They let that go. We got in a war that we really didn't need to be in. Okay, we let that go. You see the decrepitness on the streets. The ignorance is just more and more chaotic. Then when it comes to drugs in the White House, files being found from a person back when they were a vice president. They shouldn't even have been president. Like, the president that was at that time that this guy was a VP, he got dirt on him too, but nobody worries about it. They just let it pass. Everything the other side is doing, everybody talking about. Hollywood full of, children. Like when they talk about sacrifices, they're not really talking about just killing people all the time. A lot of times they're talking about molestation. Okay. Epstein Island, Fiesta video. Like, it would be a trip if people went at the government with all these different, whether it's Indian reparations, all that different stuff. And meanwhile, on the low, kids is missing every day in your communities, wherever you are. No matter white, black, doesn't matter. So we just heard audio from Paul Bonagi. He's talking about these parties, senators, governors, presidents, vice presidents, whatever. They're hiding in the closet. I mean, who did this shit? I think it was a movie with Bruce Willis. Yeah, The Last Boy Scout. He was an FBI agent. He lost his job punching the president because he saw him beating on a woman. All right. Why would the movies play the scene like that, superhero role, when that's not the truth? When it's usually the other way around. Looked in the closet, looked both ways with the flashlight, didn't look down. Like he knew the routine. He knew there was no assessment in that closet. Little boys. That's wild, bro. Like, the first cover-up is nothing new. But then when you see, just the turnout of society and how people are and how they're acting, and everybody's just not looking at it like if they're already sold out, they're already involved. Crime galore, people are making excuses. 2023, there should be no fucking ghettos. Like, obviously, you're just not a decent person. You don't keep up your house. You don't keep up your living. You're lazy. You know what I mean? And that's everybody. Everybody's in the ghetto. Ghetto's not separated just black people anymore. No, everybody's in the ghetto. White people, black people, Hispanic people, Asian people. You know what I'm saying? Hindus, Arabians, everybody in the ghetto. There ain't a ghetto person on earth that ain't seen every walk of life in that moment. Because everybody in there. So is it really class or is it really racism? I think it's class. It's the way your brain conducts. But why are they using these people? Well, perfect fucking specimens, lab rats. Oh my God, you look lab rats. Well, if you're not going to educate yourself and see what's really going on, why wouldn't they? I'm just wondering, as an adult, as a grown person on Earth, if the point is not, protecting your younger people, then what would we be doing here? Like, everybody's just 9-to-5ing it. We're not, speaking great virtue anymore. Nobody's seeing all the signs. How can children be safe if all the mothers are twerking and their mind state is F a dude and get this money? And it's like, well, how are they safe? And if more children are missing, and then a bunch of illegal children are missing, and seems like we're, not on our post. But I'll tell you this much, though. For the Democrats to be laughing about cocaine in the White House, that's weird because, that's just weird. Drugs. Remember, it used to be the feds of the U.S. government that was pushing the issue. Kids say no to drugs. Everybody remember Reagan, Bush did it, Bill Clinton did it. All the presidents of the 90s and the 80s, they was always telling you, like, don't do drugs. So how could that just be nonchalant, just laughing it off? And it's like, how does that make any sense? Logically, like, even if you, the viewer, if you're a Rick James type motherfucker, you get snow flowered out, okay, but bruh, would you want your like boss high on dope all the time? Like, would you want that? What about your pizza delivery person or your fireman or something? It's like, you sure? I'm talking about high, not took a bump and kept running. No. I'm talking about high, fucked up. Motherfuckers finding bags of coke in the White House. My president is black. My Lambo. This president is not black. But if you don't vote for him, you're not black. That's weird, yo. That's weird. They ain't even try to, like, they care about black people so much, they even arrest BLM. They didn't arrest BLM for robbing black people. I'm surprised at that. I would have been like a one-up, you know what I'm saying? If this administration was like, yo, we're arresting y'all, you took money for the ghetto. No, of course not. That was part of the plan. What are you talking about? In today's time, people, I just want you to know something. While you're waiting on a polite, answer, you want to, take a trip to ancient Egypt, or you want to just live your life, you dig? Fuck the politics. Fuck what's going on. I'm going to get mine and out. Okay? But like they say, you don't feel it until it hits home. And if you've seen the movie Taken, you know what I'm talking about. We're not talking about superhero dad cruising all the way across the world to save daughter. No. We're talking about reality. A lot of these daughters never make it home, ever. A lot of these sons never make it home, ever. Everybody's just shooing around, watching the Roman circus, you know what I'm saying, the entertainers, trying to be like them, not even seeing kids being killed behind them. That's the wild thing. They're all Pied Pipers. And then your news, they're all running the same words. The only difference between Fox and the other news stations is a different opinion. See, that's the thing. I'm not a big Fox fan or nothing like that, but when everybody is saying the same thing except one side, and they're not even the number one hitters anymore as Newsmax, but it's like, I'm sorry, I'm not a fool. I am willing to hear the other proposal. I'm not a fool. I'm not going to just let one person just geese me up or gas me up and just tell me this is just what it is. No. You got to investigate everything in life. Yo, I swear on everything, man. There's a lot of wickedness out here. A lot of wickedness. It's not about, you know what I'm saying, books and Bibles. No. If you know God, then you would have been on this mission. You like, that's God. God is hard hitting. It's facts, truth. People don't want to mess with that. They want to talk about a high omnipotent power. Let me explain something to you, homie. Y'all can talk about aliens all you want, but always remember they ain't no problem. For some reason, they playing with your booty. Just like these Hollywood weirdos is, just like these Boule Illuminati motherfuckers, just like everybody. For some reason, they keep rolling with this pederast and shit. And here's the funny thing. Even in biblical times, I'll tell you a fucked up story, right? So the tribe of Benjamin almost got destroyed because they was basically trying to rape a Levite. So instead, he threw him as one of his concubines. You know, they raped her to death. So he chopped her up and sent all the pieces, or I think it was like 11, 12 pieces, he sent them to all the tribes of Israel to know this is how the Benjamites is getting down. They all damn near almost destroyed him. Yeah, that's just a story in the book. But then you got Sodom and Gomorrah. Let them come out so that we may know them. This is a pack of wild homosexuals wanting to know two angels. And in code language, we know exactly what they're saying. They're saying we want them. And Lot's like, nah, yo, I can't do that. Yo, you can have my daughters. You know what I'm saying? This dude is offering up his daughters to a pack of wild rabbits. This is the second story. Now, I told you it's all allegory. You do what you want with it, but I'm here to tell you this. Do you see the packs crowding up? Are you starting to see it now? Because of all the stuff you guys are letting slide, all the stuff that you're not speaking on. We can go in the past all we want. We can talk about history. We can talk about our true selves. Yeah, that's great. But you cannot champion the world or the nation or gain control without seeing what's going on. So unless you're down with it, then you have to speak on it. Grown folks doing grown folk shit, freak nasty. I'm not like against that. But when you're involving underages, that's where the problem comes. Well, it's all the way from the conscious community to the White House. And they got the drugs to prove it. So, enjoy your Friday. Because tomorrow I got a good video. I got a good enlightening video. But enjoy your Friday. But know this. Your job is to protect the ones weaker than you. Ghost.